Hey guys, before starting this video, if you guys are into building cool mobile and web applications, then make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and also press the bell button so that you get notified every time I upload any video. Thank you guys and do enjoy this video. So hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the fifth part of this video series where we are building a fully featured e-commerce Flutter application. And guys, from this part we are going to be building the cart section. So basically we will be building up the cart feature in which we will be able to add specific items into our cart. So guys, this is a very important part, and also I hope you guys are following this series because each and every video in this series is very important, and I hope you guys are also watching the videos and also finding it helpful. So guys, do write me in the comments if you guys are facing any problems, and I'll try to resolve it as much as possible. And in today's video guys, we will be building the cart model. So in the previous videos we have built our products.dart, that is the product model, and this consisted of the product class and also the products class, which actually included the list of products which we have over here, and these were some dummy products, but we will be soon be adding new products. And yes, we also created a method, this find by id method, through which we were able to find products based on their particular specific id, and then we also displayed it in this product section, and we also created the detail page. So guys, what we are going to do today is create a cart model, and for that, inside my models folder, I am going to create a new file, and I'll just call it as cart.dart. Enter. And inside my cart.dart file, first of all I need to create a cart, so cart model, so that we can define how each and every item of our cart is, what attributes each and every item of our cart is going to have. So let us look at the this sample picture over here. So as you guys can see, we actually have the quantity of items present in the cart. So if we have multiple quantities of the same item, then we would have to increase this quantity number over here, and then we will also have to increase the total price. And also we have an avatar which displays the price of each individual item, and also it will display the total price, and also the name of the product over here. So this is just a simple definition of how each cart item is going to be how each cart item is going to look in our cart screen. So we will also be needing a special screen called the cart screen, which will hold the items present in our cart. And yes, and the cart screen and also the cart feature we'll be adding on in the next upcoming videos, and today we'll just be building the models for our cart. So make sure you watch this video because there are a lot of important stuff which I am going to cover in this video. So let's get started. So guys, first of all we need to create a class for every single cart item. So as you guys can see, we have the cart item, and it contains the title, the quantity and all. So what I'm going to do first of all is going to create a class of, let's call it cart item, and then this cart item is going to have 4 parameters. The first one would be the id. Of course, every cart item is going to have an unique id. And then the next one would be the name of the product, which will be same as the product name, of course. And then the quantity, so it would be an integer, so quantity. And we also need the price, double price. Okay, now let us initialize them. Titan. So actually, since all of this stuff are very important and will be required when we will be defining our cart item. So let's just import foundation.dart package. So import foundation.dart, and we're going to make all of these parameters as required or as necessary. So required, and this one would be this dot name, comma, let's just copy this up and we'll just paste it over here. Then this dot id. Okay, so this one would be id and this one would be the name, and then we are going to have the quantity, so this dot quantity, and also we are going to have the price, so this dot price. Yes, so guys, after this we need to create our cart model, which will basically contain a map of multiple cart items. So basically, why are we using a map? Because we have to map each and every cart item along with their unique key or their ID. So yes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a class and I'm just call it cart, and of course we'll be using the change notifier over here. So if you guys have missed my previous video, in my previous video I have actually used the provider package, so make sure you check it out so that you get to know how we are going to be using it in future videos. So guys, now what we have to do, we have to define a map. So map, and this one first parameter would be a string, so we are going to map the string with a cart item. And the string would basically, as I have told you guys, it can be ID or basically it will be unique and it will be a map. So as you guys can see, I'm using here curly brackets, and after that what we have to do, we have to since this is private, so we need to get it, so map again, and also we need to pass the first parameter, which will be the string and the cart item, and it will get the items for us, so the items present in our cart, and inside of it we'll just return an object with the items, of course. Okay, so after this what we need to do, we need to define some method like adding items to cart or removing them, and also to get the total amount present in our cart. And but before that, let us get the item count, that is the number of items present in our cart. So I'll just write here int. We basically are going to get an integer, so it would be the item count, and it is going to return the number of items present in our cart, so items dot length. Okay, and then what we need is we need a method to add items to our cart. So I'm just going to define a method, and the method would be void add item, and basically it is going to take some parameters. So first of all, it is going to take a string of the product ID, so I'll just write here product ID, and it is going to take a string for the name, and also double for our price. Okay, and then so guys, first of all we have to check whether if the item is already present in our cart or not. And if the item is present in our cart, if that particular item is present, then we will actually not be creating another object for that item. We'll just be increasing the quantity of that product which is already present in our cart. And if the product or the item is not present in our cart, then we'll have to create a new object, and that object will be the particular item, and we'll have to define the name and the quantity of that particular item. So to check that, guys, I'm going to use a small conditional. So if the map of our items, that is the cart items, contains the product ID of that particular item, so to check, we'll just include items dot contains key, and the key would be the product ID of that particular item. if it is present in the cart, then what we need to do is we need to just increase the quantity of the item. So we already have the item, we have the name, we have the price, and we have the ID also, but what we need to increase is the quantity. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to update the items map. So items dot update, and now as you guys can see, inside this update we get two parameters. The first one would be the key. Since this one is a map, so we have to assign a particular item with a specific key. So this key would be same because this product ID already exists, so the key would be same. The key would be the product ID, and the value would be, actually we are going to since we have the existing card item, so pass it down. And now we are going to be using the same card item, so I'll just use the card item object, and inside this we need to pass some particular parameters. So the first one would be the ID, and for the ID, guys, we can use the current date or the current time. So yes, that will be a very good ID. So date time dot now, and since this is not a string, so we'll just make it a string to string, and the name would be the name of the existing card item. So existing card item dot name, and the quantity would be existing, yes, so existing card item dot quantity. Okay, so existing card item dot quantity, but since we already have this particular card item, so basically when we add a similar item we cannot have the same quantity. So basically we'll have to increase the quantity by 1, so plus, so existing card item dot quantity plus 1, that's it. And after that, for the price, we'll just use existing card item dot price, because the price is going to remain the same over here, but we will be changing the total price, but still for each and every item the price is going to be the same, and we just want to change the quantity, as you guys can see over here. And after that, guys, we need to pass another conditional. If the item of that specific or particular product ID is not present in our cart, so we want it to be added. So else, just use else, and I'm going to use items dot put if absent. So if it is absent, it is going to create it. So it will be taking a key and a function. So the key would be product ID, or yes, product ID, and the function would be, actually we're going to create a new card item. So we'll have to pass the name and the price from over here, so as parameters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new card item, and inside this card item I'll be having the name. So the name would be the name which will be passing on as parameters over here, as you guys can see. And then I will have the ID. So as I have told earlier, it is going to be the current date time. So date time dot now, dot toString, and then we are going to have the quantity. So since this card item was not previously present, so the quantity would be just 1, and since it is now present, so it will be falling into this category, and we can increase it as soon as we add more items of the same type to our cart. So yes, so for the first time it is just going to have a quantity of 1, and then after that we need to give the price. So the price would be the one which will be passing it down, so the price over here, as you guys can see. So yes, so basically the add item method is complete now. And also, since we will be adding new items to our cart, we also want to notify it to our providers. So what we can do is we can add notify listeners over here. So notify listeners, and it will just notify the changes to our cart. So notify listeners. Okay, and it will be basically inside this add item method, not inside the class. So inside this add item method, because as soon as we add an item, we are making a change and we want to notify it to our providers. So yes, and after that what we need to create is the method for removing the items from the cart. So guys, we want to remove the items from our cart if we have added them mistakenly, or we just want to check whether we can remove the item from our cart or not. So the first method would be to remove an item. So void remove, and it is going to take remove item. Let's call it remove item, and it is going to take the ID as parameter, so string ID, and it is just going to remove that particular item with that specific ID. So items dot remove ID. Okay, and also we want to notify these changes to the providers, so we'll use notify listeners. Okay, and now after this we also want a method to remove a single item in our cart. So as you guys can see here, so that we will be, maybe we can just swipe it, or maybe include some other facilities to remove a single item. And for now let's create the method. So void remove single item, and it is also going to take a parameter, and it will be the same, that is the ID. And after this first of all we need to check if an item is not present in the cart, then we cannot remove it. And if the item is present in multiple quantities, then maybe we can reduce the quantities by 1 or something like that. So we have to check. So for that I'm using a if conditional. So if the items with that particular product ID is not present, as you guys can see I am using this exclamation, which is going to negate this statement. So if it is not present, then we would basically okay, so this one would be the ID, not the product ID. So if it is not present, then we are just going to return this up, and if it is present, so else, then we want to remove a single quantity. So what we can do is I think it would be better to use if here. So if there are multiple quantities of that particular item, so we can check this by items ID dot quantity is greater than 1. Then we can decrement that particular quantity of that particular item. So items, okay, so items dot update, and the key would be the ID, and this one would be existing cart item, because it already exists in our cart. So existing cart item, and we're just going to use this same cart item object which we used in the add item method. So I'll just copy this up and I'll just paste it here. And okay, so we have got an extra bracket, so I'll just cut it. And this one would be actually we are going to decrease the quantity by 1, so it would be -1. Okay, so and also we want to notify the changes to our providers, so notify listeners. Okay. And now we also want to create a method to clear every items, that is all the items present in our cart. So for that we'll just use we'll create a method and we'll just call it as void clear, and inside this clear method I'll just use the items object which will be empty. So I'll just set it to an empty map, and then I'm going to notify this to my providers, so notify listeners. Okay, so now we have created the methods. We have the add item method, we have the remove item method, we also have the remove single item method, and also the option or the method to clear the whole cart. And yes, so now we almost have the cart model fully ready or fully prepared, and now we just have to implement the features of this cart, which I am not going to do in this video because it will be quite long. So I'll be doing it in the next two parts, the next two upcoming videos. So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel to get notified for the upcoming videos. And also, if you found this video helpful, then do like and share this video. And if you have any doubts or any suggestions, then do write me below in the comment section. I would be happy to read and also to follow up on it. So guys, that's it for this video, and in the next video we'll be implementing the cart features in our UI, that is in our app, so that we will be able to add the particular product to our cart. And till then guys, stay tuned and stay safe.